This is a 1943 Boeing Stearman built as a primary trainer of World War II. About 80% of the pilots in World War II started their basic training. They started in basic training, that's the first airplane they would fly. It sits on its tail instead of on a nose gear. And because of that, the center of gravity is behind the main wheels. So it wants to turn around and go backwards all the time. That was intentional because they figured if you could handle that landing, you could handle about anything.
Dennis Dunlap loves flying his Stearman.
Once it's off the ground, it's a great airplane.
So great, this is the sixth one Dunlap has owned and rebuilt.
Every time I sell one, I buy another one right behind it and go again because I just can't stand it. You pull up on the ramp somewhere and here's a $3 million Learjet or a Falcon or this or that or whatever, you know, I mean, $1 million airplanes. You pull up in that and everybody comes out.
Dunlap Stearman is part of the Western North Carolina Air Museum, and so is Dunlap. He, along with Ken Stubbs and Bill Schreier, imagined the museum while sharing their own stories about flying.
And they had the idea to kind of establish something that people could come and visit and share in those stories and experiences, and it grew quickly from there.
They founded the museum in 1989, making it the first air museum in the state that was first in flight.
We're essentially, a hub of all groups of aviation and a place for people to come together and sort of experience and share ideas.
The museum is connected to the Hendersonville Airport, the oldest private airport in continuous operation in North Carolina. It houses 23 aircraft representing 8 decades of aviation.
Most of our planes are donated from the local community and others from outside the community that want to sort of preserve mostly the Carolina flying heritage. Some of those still have their current flight worthiness certificates. Although we don't fly them, we encourage everyone to be up close and personal with the aircraft as opposed to static displays at a distance. It's very rewarding when families come in and say, well gosh, we've never been able to get close to an airplane, and so they're able to come here and really tap into our resources.
There are other exhibits too, things like cockpit simulators, ejection seats, and aviation memorabilia. The museum has an annual airfair where people can not only see but also ride in a vintage plane. Visitors can also watch volunteers doing aircraft restorations, many of whom are veteran pilots themselves.
They're up close and personal with the people who may have built these planes or who continue to work on them, and the people who fly them or the people who design them.
And every once in a while, visitors may get to take a ride in a 1943 Stearman.
And that's a very good representative, aircraft of what the museum's about and the type of heritage and how those aircraft touch many people throughout time.
People like Dennis Dunlap, whose love of flying is inspiring.
It's so engrossing and so demanding of your thoughts that it's almost relaxing for me because I forget about the family and the kids and the job and life in general. When I'm in that airplane, I'm in that airplane.